welcome to this week's Rankings Report, where we discuss all the latest moves made in the USA Today and MMA Junkie rankings. Goes from MMA Junkie Radio here. With me, as always, Gorgeous George, our rankings chair. Let's get to it. Kamaru Usman defended his welterweight title. What goes down at 170, Gorgeous George?
Nothing goes. Kamaru's won. He's number one. He's going to stay number one because he defended his title. However, with Jorge Masvidal, he's going to go from number 3 to number 5. We're going to push up Douglas Lima and Gilbert Burns. Now, here's the reason why Covington didn't go down and Masvidal did. Covington had a 7-fight win streak going into his shot. He's a former interim champion. You know, he won a couple rounds. Going into the third, he was up 2-0. Jorge Masvidal lost pretty convincingly, on the judges' scorecards. So he brought a 3-fight win streak. So it's a little bit different. Lima's been surging since then as well, winning that Grand Prix, and then Gilbert Burns, can't say enough about him. So Jorge Masvidal will go from number 3 to number 5. And I'm going to double dip here. Goes Kamaru Usman. He had no movement there, but guess what? In the pound for pound, he's moving up to number 6. Ryan Bader goes to 7. Stipe Miocic goes to number 8.
Very nice. I know we got a lot to cover, so let's keep it brief. George, what happened at featherweight?
In this one, it's going to be simple. Volkanovski stays at number 1, and Max Holloway stays at number 2. Now, again, why doesn't Holloway drop off of the loss? Well, he beat number 3 Ortega, and I believe in that whole head-to-head thing, and that fight didn't happen that long ago. It was about 18 months ago. But more than anything, look, a lot of people thought he won on Saturday night. He was up 2 rounds to nothing, arguably, as well, on most people's scorecards, including the judges. So he had a good account for himself. He could have very well been the champion on Saturday night. It could have been a simple flip-flop, but we'll respect the judges' decision. They stay at 1 and 2.
That was pretty easy, but I think the fans needed to hear the process and all that. So let's go with the Bantamweights next, George. Who do you got?
The Bantamweights. All right, so this one's going to be a little bit more long-winded. I'll try and make it as quick as I can. Obviously, Peter Yan goes to number 1. Congrats to him. We have a champion at the top. God bless Henry Cejudo. Enjoy your retirement, but everything moves on. However, Jose Aldo, we're now going to pull him out of featherweight. He's got to come in. He's 0-2, but look, it was a split decision versus Marlon Moraes. He did win a round against Peter Yan. It's not like he's getting smoked. So he's bringing some equity over from featherweight, and he's going to go in at number 7 right behind Cody Garbrandt, Assunção, Rivera. Those guys have been, a little bit of a tailspin, so they're going to go down a spot each all the way down until we unfortunately have to push Song Yadong out to honorable mention, and then leaving the honorable mention will be John Lineker to make room for all that.
Now, you had a week off last week, so I got a couple more for you this week.
Sure.
It's the Strawweight lowdown.
The lowdown there is Rose Namajunas is going to go from number 4 to number 2. We're going to put Jessica Andrade down to number 3 and Tatiana Suarez down to number 4. Now, Tatiana Suarez might be like, hey, well, what's going on here? I've never lost. Why are you penalizing? She hasn't fought in over a year, and I don't see any fight on the horizon as of yet. And you got to reward the ones that are fighting, especially when they're battling each other. Zhang Weili, Jessica Andrade, Rose Namajunas, Joanna Jędrzejczyk. Of course, someone's got to lose when they all match up, right? But you also got to believe in the quality of their performances. So they're going to, we got to reward Rose Namajunas. She looked good. She avenged that loss. And get this, I'm going to double dip again, we're going to go to the women's pound for pound. It doesn't get talked about often enough, but there, Rose Namajunas goes from number 8 to number 5, and the other ladies slide down 5, 6, and 7, respectively.
And finally, any other notable moves to talk about since this was a stacked card?
Yes, Jiří Procházka. Sorry, John Anik, I probably butchered it, but look, this guy was in our honorable mentions at one point. However, because of the rise of the Johnny Walkers and Alexander Rakic's and all those guys, Jiří, who was outside of the UFC, we had to remove him. However, we kept an eye on him, all right? And he's won, 20 of his past 21, and the one he lost he avenged. And that was against a notable figure in King Mo Lawal, former Strikeforce light heavyweight champ. So gathering all that streak he's on, 11 straight in a row, now he takes out the number 10 guy. You got to reward him. So we're going to move Jiří Procházka from nowhere land all the way up to number 11. Thiago Santos is going to slide up to number 10, and then Volkan Ozdemir is going to go to number 12. That's going to push all the other guys, which creates a trickle effect. Ryan Spann is now in the honorable mention, and then Mauricio Shogun Rua, he's out of the rankings altogether.
Whew, that was a lot, but I get it. Arguably, it was one of the biggest cards of the year, so we had a lot to chat about. That's it for now. See you all next week when we discuss the latest in the rankings here on the rankings report.